Back in my youth, I used to play a video game called Battletoads. You guys remember Battletoads? Well, of course you do. I had lots of fun with this game. It was sort of like a knockoff of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, only with toads. There was also a crossover video game where they team up with Billy and Jimmy from Double Dragon, plus Battle Maniacs on Super Nintendo and the Master System. They even had a Battletoads arcade from 1994. However, in 1992, they made an animated series based off of it, except it was only a one-episode series, not to mention it was a piece of toad shit and never made into a full series. Why, you ask? I guess it was some sort of a blatant ripoff of Ninja Turtles. However, I'm going to review the characters that were seen in that series. We'll start with the three toads. First you got Rash, whose real name is Dave Shar, is one of the three toads. He is the class clown and mascot of the toads. He is an extrovert and a show-off and loves to crack jokes. Second, you got Zitz. Morgan Ziegler is the leader of the toads. He is a tactical genius and an economical fighter, preferring fighting methods that allow him to conserve his strength. And last, Pimple. George Pye is the muscle of the toads and prefers to fight instead of talk. Let us see what they look like in the unsuccessful Battletoads animated series. They look just like their game designs, except in the show they were three teenage boys, Dave, Morgan, and George, which you already know that, who are given the ability to transform into humanoid toads with superhuman strength and the ability to change their arms and legs into weapons in techniques called smash hits, just like in the games. They can still change back to human form just by saying, "Let's get normal," and when they transform into toads, they simply say, "Let's get warty!" I don't know who did the voice of Rash and Pimple, aka Dave and George, but I know who voiced Zitz, known as Morgan, Ian James Corlett. I know Andrew Cavadis, who did the voice of Simon Belmont on Captain N, did voices in this show. Professor T-Bird. He is the chief of the Battletoads. He is often seen in the cutscenes of the games, and is occasionally giving you good advice about upcoming obstacles. Let's take a gander on what he looks like. He does look rather spot on to his game design. In the show, he's mostly a source of comic relief, although he instructs the trio in the use of their powers and builds the Toadster for them out of an old wrecked car, and was responsible for using the essence of Battletoads potion to turn Dave, Morgan, and George into the new generation of Battletoads. Plus, he was voiced by Michael Donovan, yes, the voice of Ryoga on Ranma and Eggplant Wizard on Captain and the Game Master. Princess Angelica. She is the princess who got kidnapped along with Pimple in the first game by the Dark Queen and taken to Ragnarok. Let's take a look on what she looks like. She looks like her design in the game, only her dress is colored blue. In the animated series, she is sought by the Dark Queen for a magic amulet she possesses and gets a job at a donut shop to blend in on Earth. Her voice was done by Kathleen Barr, who did the voice of Roll in the 1994 Mega Man animated series, which was before that. Well, that sums up the heroes and allies. Stay tuned for part 2 as I talk about the bosses.